Oh yeah, right. Part 4 of this mudguard mounting thingamabob. There's my Ninja Turtle half shell, which is now all dry and dandy and ready to go. Now I've got some ideas. Some might work, some might not, but it's a case of resorting to the old pick up a piece of material and see if it works ploy. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. I just really need a frame that goes around the inside, like 2 or 3 spars that then come round to a side frame. That makes sense because I need it very thin and light, and I've got a cunning idea. I have an old drying rack of all things, would you believe? So there you go. I'm going to bend up this old drying rack that I've got because I believe I might be able to make the frame for this. What I've got to do tonight is, come back a bit, I've got to get the frame that goes inside bent to the right shape and then curved to the correct curvature. So it's a double curvature bend, and hopefully then that can be resined on the inside, giving me what I want to end up with is 2 metal rods along the outside like this, effectively welded to the rods across, and I've got something that's almost going to do it without any effort, which is great. Using scrap is amazing. So there we go, stick around, stay tuned, not going to waffle on, that's it, let's see what happens. Right, the thing I've got in mind is this, another bit of drying rack. This is the kind that goes across your bath, I think. Anyway, I cut it from the other stuff before, and it's just mild steel, and I reckon half of that bit there, curved across the tyre, will give me 4 spars to go inside the mudguard, and then these have got to curve with the wheel. So tonight is an act of curvature. Tonight is all about seeing if I can curve that and curve that to make that fit inside the mudguard, and if I can, then I can just resin it in, and from there it will be a case of then bringing something from those spars forward to the mount points, and I've got a big long length of rod, some washers, tack it all together, job done, hopefully. So first of all, lock this side off, don't need half of it, and let's see if I can make that curve to the tyre. A bit more. There we go. They're only light, sort of 3 mil. Right, there we are. Hopefully that should do it. It should hopefully form just the right shape. You can finesse it with your fingers. Right, that'll do it. Now I want to try and follow that line. Double curvature. Like that. I want to do as much as I can to prevent any fasteners being used on this. I'm just going to resin it in. Really. I don't know how much of this I'll cut off, or a lot of it will be used. Just leave the spare on until you finish with it. Easy enough. Right, so that's about where it goes. It will sit about there, I reckon. About 2 inches off the tyre. Yeah, that should do the trick. And then I can bring just a couple of stays from there. Just pick up a link point. There's mount points here and here, and on both sides. So maybe I can pick up I'll worry about that later on. That's just routing a rod forward just to hold it in the best way. But this is definitely important. This is part of the frame. Now it's obviously a bit squidgy and flexible at the minute. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to use the other wire that I've got and tack weld a few little braces to it just to hold it so that it's not volatile and too fragile. Although it's only wire, if you brace that enough with other bits of wire, it should be quite strong, do the job. So let's get the welder out. Same old thing with a Stanley knife again. Can't weld it through the paint. So I'm just going to lift off the powder coating or whatever it is on here. Where we're going to weld it, just give it half a chance of sticking. Same old thing with a Stanley knife again. Can't weld it through the paint. So I'm just going to lift off the powder coating or whatever it is on here. Where we're going to weld it, just give it half a chance of sticking. Off the other side. Just using the old carpet knife. Best way to get paint off metal rods. Good enough. Oops. Bend these down. Snipping them off. Flat, flat. Right, so there we are. Pretty much kind of matches a little bit. I'm not going to fiberglass it in though, it's going to just be painted black. So that will fit over the back like that. And your little mudguard tortoise shell can just go in there. What I'll do, that'll just get, it's that way around actually. Yeah, that's it. Kind of fits one way. So that'll get resined in. What I'm going to do is map these in, just finesse the actual angles and get them dead right, and then I shall put a couple of layers in, let them dry, and then a strip down the centre to just hold that. And it hasn't got to hold any weight, so it hasn't got to have loads of fiberglass, it's only literally got to hold that to that. And then the whole thing, once it's one piece, will get painted black. But the general idea is over the back, about there a ways, I reckon. And that will just give, just off the tyre, probably about 1.5 inches, something like that. Yeah, I think towards the back. And then I've just got to take some stays into the mount points, which are braced, so the whole thing's strong. But that whole lot there, honestly, that weighs, I don't even think, half a pound, if that. This little thin wire, it's just nothing of it. It's like a little basket thing, just made out of another clothes dryer. There we go. Right, so there we go. That's it. Little cage, kind of sort of over the wheel cage bracket thing, and then that will just get resined on the inside, like I said, and it'll do the job. Just get painted black, literally a couple of coats of matte black, that'll be fine. The other side of it is, I think what I want to do is mount it on some slots so I can move it back and forth, because obviously as the chain wears, the wheel gets moved backwards, not by much, probably by 1 inch, so I just want to be able to adjust it a bit so it doesn't get too close to the tyre, or clobbering the tyre so I can't move the wheel back. You know, I don't want to make rods for my own back later on. So the whole lot's going to get painted once it's done, and I've got some resin now, and I can just fiberglass that in, and that, because there's absolutely no weight to that. It weighs absolutely nothing. Strong as you like, but it doesn't weigh anything. And the whole thing, like I said, is so light that won't faff around and crack or anything. So there we go. Thanks for watching number 4. Keeping them going. I'm trying to do one every day if I can. It may not always happen, but if I can do one every day, little short ones like this, I'll get them going, and then hopefully have it ready by the weekend. Thanks for watching Delboy's Garage. Appreciate it. See you next time.